Hello, I am currently editing this video right now and I forgot that I need to film an intro. So, hello. Welcome to this video. This is not a tutorial. I said it in the title and I will say it now. This is not a tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever tried gluing stuff into a wig. But I'm framing it like a tutorial because I don't know how else to frame it. So, yeah. I hope you find some entertainment out of this. I don't know if you should take tips from it. I really don't know. But yeah. I have a tendency to try a lot of different things without planning. So this might become a thing. I might do more of these because I think it's really silly. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. So the first order of business was to get all this hair out of the way because I'm going to do something really silly. I'm going to do something so silly. I'm going to grab my little seam ripper and I'm going to start ripping all that hair out. I was originally a little scared to do this because I've never like taken wefts out of a wig before. And I hold wigs very near and dear to my heart, but I eventually got her out. You can see me kind of struggling at the end there because for some reason those little wefts right at the beginning and right at the end like did not want to come out for some reason. But yeah, I did fine. And now it was time to put the wig up into an actual ponytail, because that's the reason why we were doing this in the first place, because it was a ponytail. So now I'm just basically trimming it and making sure it's not like, you know, down to my butt. And now guess what? We have a big ol' hole in our wig now. So the next order of business was to do my normal wig prep, which just consisted of crimping and, you know, all the fun stuff that I have to do before I get to the actual styling. I'm actually doing a pretty light crimp, at least for me. I tend to fry my wigs a little more than not. Not as much as I used to, but I went pretty light on this one just because the hair that was going to be glued in the back, I was not going to crimp because I was worried about how that would turn out, so I didn't want it to really look crimped at all, if that made any sense. Ah, yes. My favorite part of crimping bangs. See, the front doesn't really look that bad, but, now we have her to deal with. So, I didn't tell you this, but all that hair that I cut off from the ponytail, yeah, we're repurposing that now. So, I got this big tub of tacky glue, and I'm going to use it to, put on the end of one part of the hair. Yeah. And then after that dries, it should be all hard and usable. And after that is all done, we're going to hang them all up to dry. Like this. Wow. New day, new work. So, you remember all those little wefts we made yesterday? Yeah, we're using those now. Here, I'm basically just trying to trim them up to the best of my ability so they don't look too jagged, and then also giving them a little brush to get any hairs that didn't catch out. Now I bet you forgot about that one weft that I took out at the beginning. Now we're actually putting that to use. I'm pinning her down here so we can sew her back on, but in the opposite direction. This is basically my fail-safe if I don't manage to cover the entire back of the wig with these wefts, just so there's at least something under there, and it's not just wig cap. Now let me tell you, this sewing experience was probably one of the most awkward I have ever had because the angle sucked so badly. I'm not too keen on actually taking the wig off of the stand to sew it because I'm just so afraid of it like messing everything up. So I sewed it on the stand, as you can see, and oh my god, getting that needle in and out was so hard, but I managed eventually. Now that I had that weft all sewn in place, I reincorporated it with the ponytail and trimmed it to the same length as the actual ponytail itself. Now came the part that I was actually dreading, gluing the wefts into the wig. I've come to learn and trust hot glue a lot more than I did previously. So, yeah, hot glue, my best friend. I took the time to like position and get an idea of where I wanted these to go, and then I just went for it. As you can see, I used some tiny little pins to pin all the little wefts up while they were drying, just so the weight of them being let go wouldn't make them like fall apart, because that happens to me all the time. But yeah, this part was probably the most stressful part. And now that they were all glued in, it was time to take them out and do the same thing we did with the weft and reincorporate that back into the ponytail. So here's what we're working with. Don't run away yet. No, don't. I'm fixing it. See? See? I'm fixing it. And while I was there, I also hairsprayed and put some pieces that were on the side into place, just so they weren't just sitting there, or I didn't have to like smooth them against the wig, because I hate smoothing things against the wig so much. And don't think I forgot about that ugly blue hair elastic in there. No, I didn't forget about that. I'm basically taking one of my leftover wefts and just gluing it around the ponytail, just so it can cover up that freaking hair elastic, because I didn't have any other elastics other than that. A lot of the time you can see me like pinning things a lot while I'm doing this, and I think if I were to give any of my not advice that I do not have, like if you're working with glue on a wig, you really need to take the time to let it dry, or else it's just gonna become a whole mess. And now that whole stressful part was over, it was time for me to get to my favorite part, which was styling the bangs. Because I always say that, like, bangs are my expertise. I love doing them so much. I think it really adds to a costume when you can pull off a wig that is just so fun. And I love doing fun. Fun is fun. I do eventually plan to do a more in-depth wig styling video, because that's what I do. Like, wig styling is my thing. Like, that's what I'm known for. So I will do one eventually. I just need to find a more complicated wig to show off like everything on, and I need to find time to get my camera out first. And once my work with hairspray and a hairdryer is done, I'm getting that big old jug of tacky glue out and I'm going to town. I'm basically using this just to create a bit more hardiness and like hold togetherness, I'm forgetting the word right now, on the wigs, and basically sealing the ends and just giving extra support to parts that might take a bit more stress than other parts of the wig.
And that is this wig done. It took me about 3 hours from start to finish, barring like waiting for things to dry and, you know, having this spread over like 3 days because I was working on other stuff as well. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I'm particularly happy about the bangs. Like, I know this wasn't the focus of this, but I think they turned out really nice. And the back, I think, you know, it's not perfect, obviously, but like for doing that for the first time, I think it turned out pretty nice, and I think it looks a little bit more realistic, you know? But yeah, I had a really good time with this wig, and I'm really excited to see it on my friend at Anime North. So if you enjoyed me rambling about not knowing how to do things for like however long this ends up being, then I hope you stick around, because I want to do stuff like that more often and just filming like my process. So maybe not necessarily being a tutorial. I'll definitely do like an in-depth wig tutorial at some point, but yeah. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did and you want to see more, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. I don't have an upload schedule because this shit takes time, but I upload whenever I upload, so I hope that is okay with you. But yeah, if you liked it, like it. If you don't, then yeah, I hope I see you next time. Peace.